My friend, there's a reason why you might often feel like literally everyone is playing faster or cleaner than you. Personally, I can still remember this feeling quite well from when I started out as a teenager. Nowadays it can even be harder with all of those amazing videos you can find on the internet. So what's the big secret? What are you missing? Well, quite a couple of things possibly, so let me show them to you in this video. In order to play fast, clean and controlled just like this, you don't need to practice 3, 4, 5, 6 or even 7 or 8 hours every single day. In this video I want to show you how to get there with practicing just 1 hour a day with the most effective exercises. And the first one I want to show you is all about economy of motion. That means you definitely have to work on exercises that reduce both the movement of your picking motion and your fretting hand movements as well. Here's a great one to get started. Check out exercise number 1. For this exercise I was just working with 2 strings, the D string and the G string. As you could see when I was playing for the exercise, I was really focusing on keeping my fingers very close to the neck. But not only that, I was also relaxing my grip quite a lot. So instead of pressing really hard as soon as I speed up the exercise, I still want to go for a super light grip that makes my hand relaxed quite automatically. So for this exercise, I'm barely pressing on the frets, and this teaches my fretting hand about how light the grip can actually be. So don't be afraid of practicing it like this at first. When I was playing like that, I was not pressing enough because the notes didn't come out properly. So that grip is a little bit too light, but when I just press a little bit more, barely increasing the strength of my grip, the note comes out right away and it's still super light. I'm not really gripping the neck, I'm really just pressing with my fingers a little bit, and that allows you to really speed up the fretting hand movements. And when it comes to the picking hand, I'm working with economy picking for today's exercises, and I will change to a red pick so that you can hopefully see it a little bit better. So instead of going with the usual pattern of down, up, down, up, down, up for alternate picking, I'm playing down, up, down, down, up, down for the first phrase, and then up, down, up, down, up. So this is the whole pattern. And the next important thing with the picking movement that barely anyone talks about is that I don't want big strokes like this. That can be nice if you want heavy picking attack for certain licks. But since the goal is speeding this up and still sounding super clean, I'm going for the smallest possible movements, and this almost feels like bouncing a basketball very close to the floor. So I pick the string like this, and that's actually already it. Then I'm moving into the other direction. Back there. So you can see super small movements, that's why it's easy to speed it up. So when you practice this exercise, try to not only keep the fretting hand movements as small as possible with a super light grip, also just try to bounce slightly between the strings like this for the economy picking. That will make it possible for you to really speed up your playing while still sounding super clean, and you will never get exhausted by playing fast. By the way, my friend, the awesome exercises I'm showing to you in this video are part of the brand new 30-day course that I just posted on Patreon for my Online Guitar Academy students. That's right, another brand new 30-day guitar course for my awesome Patreon community. This course teaches you all the mechanics and the most practical exercises that you need to know to take both your picking hand technique and your fretting hand technique to a professional level in a matter of 30 days by just working on it for 1 hour a day. That's because you're only working with the absolute best exercises that have a big focus on economy of motion, so keeping both your picking hand and your fretting hand movements small. So by getting started with this new course today, by just clicking clicking the link down below, patreon.com/Bernd. You will finally take both your picking and fretting hand techniques to a professional level and develop a playing style and technique that will never let you down. You need to be able to rely on your hands. You don't want inconsistent results, like one day you can play something, the next day you suddenly can't anymore. This is a bulletproof system and a guaranteed way to your guitar goals when it comes to picking and fretting hand technique. I could help over 40,000 students so far with reaching their guitar goals in my online guitar academy, and now it's finally time to take your playing to a world-class level over those next 30 days. So click the link down below, get started with the brand new guitar course right away. For now, here's another preview. This is the second exercise I want you to check out today. Once again, the main focus with this one is economy of motion. I'm aiming for very small movements, but now I have to play across multiple strings, across the E, A, D and G strings. First I'm playing the F Lydian scale ascending. So I'm going with the picking pattern of down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down. And then I'm descending with the pattern up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. So the tricky part with this exercise is that you want both of those directions to sound exactly the same. A lot of players develop picking angles where the downstroke and upstrokes sound a little bit different. So you don't want any noticeable difference in sound and feeling when you're ascending or descending with economy picking right here. And as I'm moving through the scale, once again, my goal is to keep my fingers absolutely relaxed. It doesn't matter how fast it gets. I want my grip to be really, really relaxed. And I want to make sure to always lift my index finger so that I'm not always pushing down with it. So when I don't need it anymore, I lift it just slightly to let my other fingers work. And once again, I'm barely pressing on the strings, everything is super relaxed and the pinky finger is not bending away like this, it's staying close to the neck all the time. And with the picking hand, I once again focus on keeping the movements equally small, so I'm just attacking the string like this and then it's already time for the upstroke, so not like this. I'm playing like that. Very, very small movements that make it easy to speed this up later. And although I'm already playing a little bit fast right here, when I demonstrate this for you, every single muscle in my body is completely relaxed. So this is your biggest focus in your practice routine. It feels very counterintuitive to relax more and more the faster you play, because your body always wants to cramp up, because your brain is telling you this is difficult. So try to do the exact opposite thing. No tension in your legs, no tension in your arm, in your upper body, in your neck, anywhere. Just relax your entire body and aim for the smallest possible movements, just like this. This doesn't cost me any energy at all. I could play like this all day, which is super cool. But let's check out one more exercise together before it's time to dive into the full course on Patreon. This is the third level of practicing economy of motion, speed, and a super relaxed technique. So as you could see, my suggestion is working on sweep picking next, which is a very similar technique to economy picking. The only difference being that you're working with arpeggios instead of scales, so you're mostly just playing one, maximum two notes per string. So for this exercise, I'm working with one of my favorite chord shapes with the minor add 9 chord, followed by a minor chord, then back to the minor add 9 chord, and then I'm resolving with a major chord. Very interesting chord progression. I think that sounds really cool and quite modern. And in order to play those single notes across the strings, I don't want to pick the strings individually like this. I want to smooth ascending and descending movement. I'm saying ascending because I'm ascending in pitch when I play through arpeggios like this, and descending in pitch when I sweep like this. So when I connect it with my fretting hand, it looks something like this. Remember that economy of motion is our biggest goal right here, so I basically just let my hand fall like this. I barely attack the strings. Gravity is kind of doing all the work for me right here, and my fretting hand fingers are also close to the neck. My index finger has to jump like this, but the other fingers are basically fretting that chord shape that I'm playing. When it comes to the picking, I'm connected to the bridge with my wrist and I'm following the strings like this so that I end up with the same exact picking angle for every single string. That makes sweep picking much easier. You don't get smooth results like this when you anchor your wrist on the bridge and you move your hand like this. As you can see, the picking angle is different for all the strings. So I just follow the strings for the sweep picking part. And I think the last arpeggio might be the trickiest. It's that classic major arpeggio where I have to roll my middle finger to separate the notes, and then I have a stretch up to A on the 17th fret on the high E string. But when I really relax my fretting hand like this and focus on separating the notes by rolling without cramping up, I can also play this one quite fast. And I think this entire little sweep picking etude is a great way of synchronizing your hands and combining what you learned so far with that small kind of dribbling movement, so to say, with economy picking, and adapting that to sweep picking, so playing across multiple strings like that. And with a little bit of practice and perfecting the mechanics, you will easily get results just like this. But overall, this just serves as a very small introduction to the full course I just published on my online guitar academy on patreon.com/bernd. It's another one of my 30-day courses, so it's structured in 5-day blocks. You work on different exercises in every single block. So you have a block called day 1 to 5, the next one is 6 to 10, and so on, until you reach the final block from day 26 to 30. And this is where you practice the full workout challenge that I put together for you. That one is a 7-minute workout that you can keep in your routine even after you completed this course. It consists out of the most tricky exercises you can find within the course, and it's the perfect daily workout to practice if you want to play faster and cleaner without practicing 3 to 8 hours a day. Instead, you're just gonna work on this for 1 hour a day and make an insane amount of progress because you're finally working with the most effective exercises that really boost your speed and technique in the fastest way possible. So let's finally also take your guitar technique to world-class level right now. You just have to click the link down below, get started with the brand new guitar course on Patreon right away, and have a lot of fun. Greetings from LA and bye bye.